Welcome to Muvi TV's Primetime News. To present it, my name is Jessie Jongwe. The headlines. Patriotic Front cadres share land in Shantumbu area. Former female lawmaker unhappy with continued gender imbalance in appointments, UPND. Heimber says Zambia to learn from democratic countries regarding constitution. Physiotherapists cry for recruitment. And now the news in detail. Patriotic Front cadres have allegedly begun to grab land from developers in Shantumbu area, which is under Kafoa district. One of the victims, George Piri, explains the cadres have presented him with a title deed that cuts both into his land and the main access road. Piri says he has exhausted all channels to complain. However, nothing has been done, as the state cadres have allegedly been working hand in hand with those in higher offices. He has called on the new Commissioner of Lands, Lynn Habanji, to intervene in the matter.
Patriotic Front cadres have allegedly begun to grab land from developers in Shantumbu area, which is under Kafiwa district in Lusaka province. The area is currently seeing mass development of structures, with some owning title deeds to their land. However, it has come to light that for unknown reasons, some cadres have allegedly begun to grab land from its owners. For George Piri, the cadres have even presented him with a title deed to his plot. But what is even more shocking is that the measurements even go further, cutting into the main access road.
To my surprise, my plot is there, but again, the Surveyor General said the other plot also is there. But when you do the measurement on the ground, if you have to include the two plots, the other plot is entering up to the road. Bypassing those Zesco, you can see those Zesco pole lines and the pole lines there.
Piri says he has exhausted all channels of complaint. However, nothing has been done, as the said cadres have allegedly begun working hand in hand with those in higher offices.
How can the Commissioner, the Surveyor General, the Provincial Planning Officer approve such? Because for residential plot, the minimum square meters is 1,200, but here it's just 713.
He has called on the new Commissioner of Lands, Lynn Habanji, to intervene in the matter.
I made an effort to write to the Minister of Lands. I have copies. I was blocked by the secretary. I tried to write to the permanent secretary. Similarly, I was blocked. So this is why I've taken this initiative, so that people can hear. And even the incoming Commissioner of Lands should hear this, so that even as I take the issue to her, she's not new to the issue. She has already heard it.
Many others are also in the same predicament, but are afraid to come out, fearing the said cadres. President Hakainde Hichilema has on many occasions stood firm that there must be no cadreism and there must be a restoration of the rule of law. Virginia Chilongo, Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
A former female parliamentarian is concerned with recent presidential appointments seemingly highly tilted against women. Faustinus Nyangwe, who is former Matera constituency lawmaker, claims the country is not short of qualified women who would meet the criteria for appointments to key public leadership positions. Ms. Nyangwe therefore accuses President Hakainde Hichilema of failing to walk the talk on inclusiveness of women in decision-making position. In an interview with Muvi TV News, Ms. Nyangwe asked the new Dawn administration to formulate specific policies to address the shortage of women in influential positions.
President HH to do better, but I think he has disappointed me. There are very few women. When you look at Southern Province, it's a foregone conclusion that whoever stands on UPND is going to win. But how many women do they field there? because they can take advantage of that to have women in those positions. PSs, he had the opportunity to appoint, but appointed very few. Is he saying he doesn't have enough qualified women to become permanent secretaries? We're not going. We were saying SADC was 30%, now it's 50%. We haven't even reached half. When we were there, we were even better. Now it's just going down. We should not just talk about things, we should walk the talk. Unless we have affirmative action, we are not going to manage. I was in the Ministry of Education where we did the program for the advancement of girls' education. We had a lot of affirmative action that we took place. One, we brought in the retention policy, where if a girl gets pregnant and she gives birth, she comes back. We had a policy where 25% of the places at the university should be for girls, and the rest is fought for by both boys and, And we had a policy where we said, if two people are fighting for a position, a woman and a man, and they are equal, we must pick a woman. Yeah? Because we wanted to move. And we said, if a headmaster is a man, the deputy must be a woman. If a head is a woman, the deputy must be, because those are the things we did to bring the women up. But I'm not saying it in this Dawn government. I hope they will do better. When they do better, I don't know, because all the DCs have been appointed, the PSs have been appointed, ministers have been appointed. I hope in the other places we are going to see more women.
United Party for National Development UPND Kanyama Member of Parliament MP Monty Chinkuli Saturday afternoon led Kanyama Sub-District 4 relaunch of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign. Mr. Chinkuli, who also took a Johnson & Johnson job, led several UPND Kanyama constituency and ward officials in the vaccination. The relaunch, which saw hundreds of Kanyama constituency residents turn out to be vaccinated, was conducted at Chifundo Bar in the Mutandabantu area. Mr. Chinkuli has called on the residents in the area to ignore numerous misconceptions and mysteries surrounding COVID-19 vaccination. Academician Richard Zulumbe has called on citizens to fully participate in the development of the country. Dr. Zulumbe explains that there is a need for all citizens to play their role to move the country to a level they want. Dr. Zulumbe, who is also president of the leadership movement LM Party, says citizens have what it takes to make Zambia a better country, noting that no one will build it for them without their involvement. Dr. Zulumbe was speaking when he graced the 12th graduation ceremony and dinner for Crested Crane Academy in Lusaka Friday evening. Justice Minister Malambo Haimbe says the government remains committed to establish a durable constitutional order that will catalyze political, social, and economic development of Zambia. Mr. Haimbe says the establishment of a durable constitution order shall be premised on a broad-based consensus and inclusivity of all the people of Zambia. The Justice Minister was speaking in Lusaka last night when he officiated at this year's commemoration of the Constitution Day of India, which falls on 26th of November every year, organized by the High Commission of India in Lusaka. Mr. Haimbe states Zambia cherished the continued existing bonds of friendship and the good relations between the two sovereign states. and High Commissioner of India to Zambia Ashok Kumar said this country's constitution, adopted on 26 November 1949, is the largest written constitution. Meanwhile, distinguished overseas citizen of India and judge in charge of the Quito Commissioner Court, Justice Abba Patel, says Zambia's peaceful elections enriched constitutional values and ethos. Justice Patel said the long deliberations that took place before the Constitution of India was adopted reflected the high democratic values that India stands for. Farmers in Mushindamo district of Northwestern Province have appreciated this season's delivery of farming inputs on time. One of the farmers, Christopher Chintu, explains that previously farmers were subjected to receiving inputs late, which he says was disadvantaging those, especially who mainly depend on Farmer Input Support Program, FISP. He has thanked government for the timely distribution of farming inputs, saying this year's agriculture farming season will improve. Mr. Chintu, however, adds the government should do more to address other challenges faced by those in the agriculture sector. Marketing Companies Association of Zambia, or MCSZ, has urged government to do whatever possible to preserve Ndeni ore refinery. Commenting in the wake of the announcement by Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Paul Kaboswe that says that Ndeni had been placed under care and maintenance, President Kafula Mabanga says plans letting of the parastatal should not be entertained. Dr. Mabanga says there is long-held evidence that the country may have deposits of ore and Ndeni may play a critical role in enhancing the ore resource. He has also urged the government to ensure that separate benefits of workers at Ndeni are handled fairly and transparently. One female leads a non-government organization has asked the government to send teachers to Mwalukanga village when it recruits new teachers next year because the area only has one volunteer teacher. Mizinga Melu notes with concern the number of dropping out of school in the village due to lack of conducive learning environment. She was speaking when she received a check worth 50,000 kwacha from permanent entrepreneur Demisani Dube to help towards the construction of a school in the area. She says the children have been using a dilapidated church building as a classroom with only one volunteer teacher who teaches from grade 1 to 6. On that note, we take a break. We still have more interesting items coming up shortly. Do not go away. We are delighted to add Lubumbashi and Goma to our network. Welcome aboard Rwandair, Africa's safest airline that will connect you to more than 24 destinations throughout the network.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
I woke up feeling great, need a kick for the day. Got a taste that is keeping me awake. Something fresh, something true, unforgettable, something new. I can trust as my interest all the way. So when I wake up, can't get enough. Every day, ever with tea, yeah, with my bread, over me. Every day, yeah, every day. Years of perfection bring satisfaction. Think milk, think Finta. Yeah, every day.
Where's Bob? Anyone seen Bob? Has anyone seen Bob? Bob? Bob! Bob!
Over here.
Where?
Over here.
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
Airtel Money MasterCard? But you don't even have a bank account. How did you get a card?
Well, it's not a card, but it works just like one. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order a shipment.
For all things online, the Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. OneXBet Bookmaker Company.
Apologies for that interruption. We continue with the news. United Party for National Development, UPND, Kanyama Member of Parliament, MP Monty Chinkuli, Saturday afternoon led Kanyama Sub-District 4 relaunch of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign. Mr. Chinkuli, who also took a Johnson & Johnson jab, led several UPND Kanyama constituency and ward officials in the vaccination. The relaunch, which saw hundreds of Kanyama constituency residents turn out to be vaccinated, was conducted at Chofundo Bar in the Mutanda Bantu area. Mr. Chinkuli has called on the residents in the area to ignore numerous misconceptions and mysteria surrounding COVID-19 vaccines.
I've received my shots, the vaccine. And immediately a certificate has been issued. To the general public, let us not take some of these issues, like at the end of the day, it's us as individuals who get affected. The government has been, through the leadership of Haga and Shirema, that they are going to provide medication to all medical fraternity. And this is one of the starts. We have promised people that we are going to uplift their living standards. We are going to provide health care, and this is the start. This government is serious and keeps to its promises. I've been vaccinated here. I've done it deliberately to get vaccinated now. I wanted to be vaccinated in due view of the people that I'm represented. I'll tell one thing. When this issue of COVID came on board, you agree with me that we're not in government. And sorry to mention that I was one of those who propagated that the leaders should be the first people to be vaccinated. Now you see this has come to pass. So when I sat, I said, well, I've been wanting others to be vaccinated, but now I'm in the leadership. That's why I've made it, done it openly, so that people, I don't even need to explain to people that I've been vaccinated, but people to see for themselves that no, this person is vaccinated. Having said that, this is a deadly virus. I'll urge all residents of Kanyama from 18 years of age and above to visit our clinic so that they can receive this vaccine. We have been told the first vaccine was somehow on the weaker side, the second fought with some bit of, strength, the third, that's where we are in. But now we are told that the fourth wave is so lethal that it may not spare, us. So it is my appeal that
Academician Richard Silumbe has called on citizens to fully participate in the development of the country. Mr. Silumbe explains that there is a need for all citizens to play their role to move the country to a level they want. Dr. Silumbe, who is also president of the leadership movement LM Party, says citizens have what it takes to make Zambia a better country, noting that no one will build it for them without their involvement. Dr. Silumbe was speaking when he graced the 12th graduation ceremony and dinner for Crested Crane Academy in Lusaka Friday evening.
Out of school. Whatever vocation you choose to enter, education will be your fuel. Just like fuel in a car, the more fuel you have, the further you go in life. Education is the fuel, my friends. Don't run out of fuel in your life's journey. It's in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid and a sound blueprint. I want to suggest some of the things that should begin your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief.
Justice Minister Mulambo Haimbe says the government remains committed to establish a durable constitutional order that will catalyze political, social, and economic development of Zambia. Mr. Haimbe says the establishment of a durable constitutional order shall be premised on broad-based consensus and inclusivity of all the people of Zambia. The Justice Minister was speaking in Lusaka last night when he officiated at this year's commemoration of the Constitutional Day of India, which falls on 26 November every year, organized by the High Commission of India in Lusaka. Mr. Haimbe states Zambia cherishes the continued existing bonds of friendship and good relations between the two sovereign states. And High Commission of India to Zambia, Ashok Kumar, said his country constitutional adopted on 26 November 1949 is the largest written constitution. Meanwhile, distinguished overseas citizen of India and a judge in charge of the Kito Commercial Court, Justice Abba Patel, says Zambia's peaceful elections enriched constitutional values and ethos. Justice Patel said the long deliberations that took place before the Constitution of India was adopted reflected the high democratic values that India stands for.
As I stand here as Minister of Justice, at this time
when Zambia is at a crossroads, in a new dawn, when we have to reenact, if I may use that expression, our constitution, I think there can be no better example than the document that is proudly seated on the table over there. Certainly, I know for a fact that we shall take a leaf from what you, as the people of India, have already done. And that is a way in which we can ensure unity for our people via the rule of law.
Over the years, the constitutional democracy of Zambia has also got strengthened, which was seen during the recent general elections in August 2021 and peaceful transfer of power. Zambia shall be viewed as a role model of strengthening of democracy and rule of law. The India-Zambia bilateral relations are historic, friendly, cordial, and predates even the independence of Zambia in 1964.
Farmers in Mushindama district of Northwestern Province have appreciated this season's delivery of farming inputs on time. One of the farmers, Christopher Chinto, explains that previously farmers were subjected to receiving inputs late, which he says was disadvantaging those, especially who mainly depend on Farmer Input Support Program FISP. He has thanked government for the timely distribution of farming inputs, saying this year's agriculture farming season will improve. Mr. Chinto, however, adds that government should do more to address other challenges faced by those in the agriculture sector.
Wawako improvement ukira mu myaka ya kara amba kumana kubamba tuzimona bonzimi bonga bubiji wa fisipo peni ne bakansanshi foundation nanchi nobe na mambo ya fisipo yarengesha kumana kwamba bantu bayimana kabije kubika po ne bakansanshi foundation nabo tubena konsha kubasansira na mambo akumana kubamba runo bunzimi no betwe bakaonde bwa pimpurwa mambo bakaonde bunzimi twabikire bingi mu mebere ne muruku nino runo bunzimi twayikarake omataba onka mambo tubena konsha kusansira ka furumende nangwa byonka tujina ka furumende wakonsha kunungwa ko kumona kwamba nangwa tuzimu fisipu nino hibena ukonsha kukepa kampe tubena kuromba ko mukumona kwamba betunungireko mukumona kwamba abe banzimite bajipanshi tubeno twayimana ko tumone ko mukonsha kufunjishira bana baskuru nangwa byonka kujikwa mu free education inoka jikujine mvua zero ya kumauru kabjine bya kuvwara nengikero tupanga pamo yakumona kwamba twayekara burongo onka mambo mwane.
On that note, we take a break. We still have more news items coming up after the break. Do not go away.
If you are looking for a reason to try big soft drinks, I'll give you 7. Raspberry, cola, cream soda, apple, cocoa pine, orange, and ginger. Big soft drink. Taste the fun.
Yo! Banji! I'm sure. How come your crop is far much better than mine? I mean, we are neighbors. My farm is right next to yours.
My dear, this is an open secret.
Tell me.
I switched to Sidco ever since. My harvest has been good.
Sidco?
Sidco has got the right seed for every farmland.
Sure.
See, my friend, I'm telling you, just contact them and find out which is the right seed for you.
Increase your yield this season by using Seedco Climate Smart Seeds. Call or visit your nearest Seedco depot for more details on our Climate Smart products. Seedco, it starts with the right seed.
Join a community of lifelong learners. Coppola University is a dynamic place to start or further your education to be effective in your career. At Coppola University, we aim to offer quality, accessible, and affordable tertiary education across society with our well-qualified lecturers, well-furnished computer lab, well-furnished lecture rooms, high standard and stable online learning platforms. We offer programs in the School of Business, School of Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of Law. We are making quality education affordable in Zambia. No application fees are required. We have reduced fees for all programs for every student. We allow flexible payments, pay in monthly installments. All our programs are accredited and approved by the Higher Education Authority and the Zambia Qualification Authority. Step into your future with confidence. Apply now. Programs available on full-time, distance and online education. Contact us on WhatsApp 0763 301 198. We are located at the Lusaka Main Post Office Building, corner of Cairo and Church Road, Lusaka. Email us info@copalauniversity.com. You can also visit our website www.copalauniversity.com.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Ore Marketing Companies Association of Zambia, or MCSZ, has urged the government to do whatever possible to preserve Indeni Ore Refinery. Commenting in the wake of the announcement by Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, Pokaboswe, says that Indeni had been placed under care and maintenance. MCSZ President Kafula Mabanga says plans letting of the parastatal should not be entertained. Dr. Mabanga says there is long-held evidence that the country may have deposits of ore and Indeni may play a critical role in enhancing the ore resource. He has also urged the government to ensure that separate benefits of workers at Indeni are handled fairly and transparently. When a female leads a non-government organization has asked the government to send teachers to Mwalukanga village when it recruits new teachers next year because the area only has one volunteer teacher. Ms. Ngamelu notes with concern the number of dropping out of school in the village due to lack of a conducive learning environment. She was speaking when she received a check worth 50,000 kwacha from permanent entrepreneur Dumisani Dube to help towards the construction of a school in the area. She says the children have been using a dilapidated church building as a classroom with only one volunteer teacher who teaches from grade 1 to 6.
Sustainable Development Goal number 4 is the Education Goal, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Recently, the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema announced free education from primary to secondary level, but many people in the country do not have access to good quality and conducive learning environments. Among them are the people of Mwalukanga village, 44 kilometers away from Lusaka. The children here use a dilapidated church as a school, which has no desk and enough learning resources. It is for this reason One Female Lead, a Zambian non-governmental organization, aims to build and raise ambitious, confident women, took it upon themselves to adopt the village by constructing a 2-classroom block. And now, Dumisani Nklube, who is an entrepreneur, has also joined One Female Lead by donating 50,000 kwacha for the construction of the school.
The key motivation in this case is that it is my wish to see, lives redefined, to see those that had lost hope have hope. As such, I'm super proud of what when a female's lead is doing in setting up a school in a typical village. So as such, it was a great motivation for us to see how we could contribute in a very small way. We need to come out in the open and help others. It is solely for a simple reason, to motivate others to say, hey, we can put our hands together and alleviate poverty in our different spheres.
One Female Lead founder Mzingamelu, who received the check, has this to say.
are excited about and thank God for as When Females Lead. As you know, we started this drive of raising money nearly a year ago because we saw we have adopted a school in Mwalukanga village, which is about 42 kilometers from Lusaka. And that school, has nearly over 200 children, and they have no school. Right now they are learning from a church, and they take it in turns to learn. And as When Females Lead, we felt it was important for us to really make a difference to the vulnerable children and support them by building a school. Every bit counts. When you are dealing with vulnerable children, it's not about how much, it's about every amount counts.
The 50,000 kwacha will go a very long way in the story of redefining Mwalukanga. One of the things that Dumisani always says is that his aim is to redefine the future. And there is no better way to redefine the future than to contribute to a village or a group of kids that need the help.
She has also called on government to send some teachers to Mwalukanga village, as they only have one teacher who is a volunteer.
At that school we only have one volunteer teacher. He's a volunteer, and what he does is that he has to teach grade 1 to grade 6. So you can't possibly have the skills to teach grade 1 to grade 6 and do it effectively. He's trying his best, but he's a volunteer teacher, and he was appointed by the chief. So what we are appealing to the government is for them to give us teachers for that school. There are 6 grades, to give us at least 6 teachers even to be able to deal with the grades. Even if it was okay, fine, even 3 teachers. But we are also appealing that the government joins hand in gloves with us to build that school. We're excited that the president has said there's free education now, so that we believe is going to go a long way. So for us, it's not about the school fees. It's about where do they even go to school in the first place before you even talk about fees. So we really are grateful for the school fees, but we just need the building and the teachers to start with.
Margaret Chota, Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
Lusaka City Mayor Chilando Chitangala has expressed sadness at lack of compliance by private waste management companies tasked to help the council to collect waste in the city. Ms. Chitangala observed to the private waste management companies through franchise contracts have not been participating in the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Healthy campaign activities as enriched in the agreements. She was speaking during the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Healthy campaign activities at Baulen Katambalala Market. Ms. Chitangala also notes that some people in various communities have not been participating in the campaign activities by not subscribing to waste collection companies. She further accuses non-compliant residents of allegedly being involved in indiscriminate disposal of waste, which has led to the rapid accumulation of waste in communities.
The amount of work that I see here, I think we must reduce it maybe to a fortnightly exercise. And we also have to heighten the campaign to the local people, so that they also become aware about the ramifications of not dealing with garbage. The rainfall has now started, and without clear drainages, it becomes a sure recipe for an epidemic to break out. In this case, we fear that we may have cholera, dysentery, typhoid, all those waterborne diseases. So it becomes very important that we sensitize our people, make sure that charity begins at home.
That I think we need to clean the city every 2 weeks. The monthly cleaning will not work because we have too much garbage. But at the same time, as Lusaka City Council, we've been trying to clean the drainages for the last 6 weeks. We were working with AVIC as usual, but most of the garbage that we removed was historic garbage. We've had a lot of historic garbage, just like you've seen from here in Bauleni. This garbage has accumulated for over probably 6 months or so. But AVIC was here and we removed about 40 trucks of garbage, and still it was not enough. We also cleaned up other markets at Soweto Market and other communities like in Kanyama and so on. But this has to be an ongoing exercise. But also, at the same time, we can't do this by ourselves at Lusaka City Council. We need the people in the communities to help us work. So this throwing of garbage everywhere is a problem. So they need to stop that and subscribe to the franchise contractors and the CBEs. We've also heard the story of how our CBEs are having challenges because we had a lot of wheelbarrow collectors within the communities and they charge less. So we need to also talk to them, to the CBEs and the wheelbarrow collectors, so that now they work together so that they can also share a little bit of profit so that we get to go first.
The Health Professions Council of Zambia, HPCZ, has maintained that there is need to regulate the business and professional conduct in the running of gymnasia and spas to ensure that only trained professionals provide services related to healthcare in the named facilities. HPCZ Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Wem Biabwalia discloses following a consultative and sensitization meeting held in 2018 with gyms and spa owners, Zambia Society of Physiotherapy and other relevant stakeholders. A proposal has been made for amendments to the Health Professions Act No. 24 of 2009 of the laws of Zambia to include regulation of gyms and spa services. Speaking at the ongoing 2021 specific symposium and annual general meeting for the Zambia Society of Physiotherapy in Chipata Eastern Province, Mr. Walia says that physiotherapists are key to the prevention or treatment of chronic conditions such as diabetes, heart diseases, and stroke, among others.
As a profession, you need to champion the cause of physiotherapy. So far, you've only restricted yourselves to be in hospitals, and that's not good enough. Let me state that as a council, we have seen the need of rolling out physiotherapy in areas in the past that have not been seen as meeting that profession. And what we've done as a council is to write a concept note to the Ministry of Health, and I'm glad to state that this is receiving adequate attention at the Ministry of Health, where we've indicated that there is need for spas, gyms, and massage parlors to be regulated. Expertise is needed in spas. We believe that one shoe fits all is a wrong concept to use for people that are accessing spas, for people that are accessing gyms.
Meanwhile, Zambia Society of Physiotherapy ZSP President Martha Banda reveals unemployment remains a huge challenge among qualified physiotherapists in the country. Dr. Banda laments since the year 2016, government has not been employing physiotherapists, while several training institutions have continued to train and graduate these professionals. She has made an appeal to the Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, who graced the ZSP Scientific Symposium online to consider deployment of physiotherapists at all levels of healthcare. Dr. Banda says that physiotherapy cannot be ignored in the achievement of a productive nation and the Vision 2030, which envisions access to quality healthcare for all Zambians.
A big challenge in employment. Since 2016, it sounds like not possible, but it is possible what has happened. Since 2016, our graduates haven't been employed. These are young people coming out very enthusiastic with qualifications to save this country. They are at home.
The second point is limited senior positions for physiotherapists in the hospitals and almost none in the community. We are asking to strengthen this recognition and ensure that all hospitals, all health care service delivery points have physiotherapists. It's not only in big hospitals, but also at lower levels of health care.
You are watching Muvi TV's Primetime News. We'll take a break. See you shortly.
Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. OneXBet Bookmaker Company.
Presenting Mr. Money!
Airtel Money MasterCard is what I'm here to announce. Take it easy and shop online without a bank account. Spread the word when you promote your business online. Pay for ads, grow that hustle and see your business shine. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Pay for a cab, TV subscription, shop and never stop. With Airtel Money MasterCard, just shop until you drop. Book a holiday, catch a movie, it's not that hard. Big and small, you're in charge with Airtel Money MasterCard. Introducing Airtel Money MasterCard. Shop online and do lots more. It's not a card, but works like one. Get one today from the Airtel Money menu. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Zimbabwean internationally recognized speaker and entrepreneur Joshua Maponga says African youths must raise up and learn models of building international business models to take charge of their future. Dr. Maponga says youths need to take keen interest and learn from adult leaders who have a vision for Africa. Speaking ahead of a business conference to be held tomorrow, he says Africa must develop industries and technological capacity that resonate with the raw materials that are locally available. Dr. Maponga adds for such to happen, African governments must intentionally invest in production to ensure that it develops locally supported chains of production to free itself from colonial structures available.
Planning the future in which we are not going to become part of that future. People are talking of 2063. Tell us amongst us here who will be alive in 2063. We'll all be gone until you as young people who still have life in you can begin to harvest from our indigenous knowledge systems and prepare businesses that can challenge the colonial businesses. Our independence remains as a trophy. People are putting ribbons on a dead donkey hoping that it won't smell. This needs intentional interventions, whereas African youths, particularly youths, I want to become very clear, as African youths, what are we doing to learn and start and develop our own indigenous businesses and patronize those businesses so that they don't just become local businesses, they become regional businesses, they become international businesses.
Commenting on low productivity in Africa's economies and its continued dependence on the West, Dr. Maponga says the onus is on African governments and its people to change the status quo by deliberately investing in local production.
Satisfaction, maturity of an economy, firstly, food security becomes important. Satisfaction of the local community. We can only export the excess of our production. And if we're supposed to be talking about the regional sharing of our resources, we hope that each country can utilize in creating industries that respond to their own resources. I want to become relevant, for example, to Zambia. We are one of the biggest producers of copper in this country. 15, 20, 500 trucks are driving to South Africa with your copper.
On that note, we end the news. But before we go, let's take a look at the backheads. Kanyama launches the COVID-19 vaccination, heightened concerns of a fourth wave. Academician calls on citizens to participate in the development of the country. Haimba says Zambia to learn from democratic countries regarding constitution. Mushindamo, farmers applaud government for the early distribution of imports. And that ends our primetime news. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Jessie Jongwe. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming on Muvi TV, your channel of choice.
I woke up feeling great, need a kick for the day. Got a taste that is keeping me awake. Something fresh, something true, unforgettable, something new. I can trust as my interest all the way. So when I wake up, can't get enough. Every day, ever with tea, yeah, with my bread over me. Every day, yeah, every day. Years of perfection bring satisfaction. Think milk, think Finta. Yeah, every day.
Yo, Banji! I'm very sure. How come your crop is far much better than mine? I mean, we are neighbors. My farm is right next to yours.
My dear, this is an open secret.
Tell me.
I switched to Sidco ever since my harvest has been good.
Sidco?
Sidco has got the right seed for